Hey everybody, it's your boy SergDragon, and welcome back to another edition of the Heavens Monsters podcast. With me always is Terrence, aka T-Money.
If you smell what the lion is cooking.
Today, Today's going to be a special case where the new lineup and the new premieres all this week from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and now Friday. Not including Thursday. There was nothing on Thursday as of yet. We are going to now cover a new lineup courtesy of the fact that Monday Night Raw and Wednesday night, NXT. Friday night being the night we haven't seen SmackDown airing on Fox Sports, or just Fox, because it's on Fox Channel at my home right now, with the kickoff show before that called The Blue Carpet.
But I was going to say, wait till y'all see this SmackDown stage. I hope y'all like it, because I kind of don't.
They didn't bring back the fist from what we understand.
Yeah.
We want the fist.
It just, well, I'm going to say...
They showcased the fist in the openings of the SmackDown Live.
People say they wanted to see that back.
And all they did was they wanted to see the fist on stage. Or showcase it and stuff. Or double fists on the side of the stage.
No, what they do is just one fist. That's all they did. That's what their plan was, but then they decided not to do that.
No, that would have been cool if they actually had two fists coming out from the sides of the stage.
Yeah.
And then somebody does a bro fist to the tiny little fist to the big fist. That'd be nice. Oh, then definitely if they do that, Zack Ryder's gotta be coming to SmackDown if they do that. Cause he's gonna say, bro fist!
But they want to keep him on Raw. I heard.
And that's the subject of today. Monday Night Raw on the 30th of September and the 2nd of October for NXT. We're going to cover that right now.
I just want to say,
review that.
The stage looks like some kind of futuristic kind of thing.
Futuristic? It looked like a very long skateboard ramp.
Yeah, but that's what the fans comments. They're saying that 3 people say that looks like a futuristic stage for SmackDown.
Not to me. It just looks like a ramp. Tony Hawk, get your ass over here. Or
Rob Didrik.
Thank you. Rob Didrik.
But most people would care about Tony Hawk because he's a legend.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said mention him first, because he's a legend.
Yeah.
So, at the start of the show, we would have Rey Mysterio come out, and we're thinking that we're gonna start the show with the Universal title match on the line between Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins, but he goes and says that match is gonna be later tonight. In which case, he doesn't even look like he's dressed to wrestle yet. He has his mask on, his iconic purple mask, or remastered. It's a new mask from the WCW days. Even having a t-shirt, a jacket with him dressed up like that in the back.
But it's not his mask. He had a kind of mask in WCW days. He just had.
It's a remodeled mask of that, honoring that day, those days.
Nah.
And the jersey that showcased that look in the back.
That's the one he had. He always had the old school mask.
Well, did you see his back on his jacket?
Yeah, he ain't first time I've seen that though. He always had that jacket.
Okay.
That jacket's old anyway.
And he showcases and thanks Dominic that this wouldn't have happened if not for him talking him out of retiring. And then his music hits. The bringer, the beast incarnate, what did he call him? Assassin?
No.
Paul Heyman called him that one time.
No, the next big thing.
No, he called him the mayor of Suplex City, the
master of Suplex City.
Yeah. I call him the mayor since he runs the damn place. And then you also got the assassin something, the shadow or Flash assassin.
No, not the assassin.
He called him that. I gotta look that up.
The Conqueror, bro.
The Conqueror, that too.
Yeah. And
of course, thanks to Taz, originally back then, he's still bringing the pain.
Speaking of Taz, he's mad that they not invited him to come back.
Yeah, I'm kind of mad too. Taz was fun. I would have loved him on SmackDown.
Yeah, that's what he was with Michael.
Speaking of that, we also have a new cast. The return of Jerry the King Lawler on Monday Night Raw, and with 2 other guys
They're new guys, they're newbies.
Yeah. One I already saw on 205 Live, the black guy with the dreadlocks. Hard to see a commentator with dreadlocks. That's new. And the other guy I've seen commentate on NXT UK brand. So it's a real mix-up. But with Brock Lesnar showing up, it was iffy as hell. And Paul Heyman, who comes in with the microphone, is right before he said, "Ladies and gentlemen," Rey Mysterio just jacks that damn thing, and we were about to get hyped on Rey Mysterio. Everybody was already getting hyped and screaming, saying, "Ah!" Hoping to hear Rey Mysterio and what he had to say to Paul Heyman was denied, and then nothing but dread. Because Brock Lesnar assaulted Rey Mysterio, F5ing him, and then looking on at Dominic in fear of Brock Lesnar, rightfully so, because once he sits down, we all think that Dominic is going to be okay, because Brock Lesnar wouldn't. Boy, were we wrong.
But just so I know,
No, don't cut. Don't cut. If you're about to say something.
No, I'm about to say this about Paul Heyman.
Okay, go ahead.
Just so you know, Paul Heyman, he can come to both shows because he's the lead writer of Monday Night Raw.
In which case, what Brock Lesnar did is unforgivable in every word. He attacked a teenager. He pulled this already sitting down Dominic and just picked him up, threw him over the barricade, picked him up, slammed his back, body pressed him into the freaking corner of the ring. Ow!
Dominic's not a teenager.
Well, that's what they called him.
Yeah, he's 21.
Well, then commentators call it wrong. He's not a teenager then.
Yeah, they messed up. That's one thing about they always mess up.
No, they messed up twice then.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in just a bit on the second part. But that was wrong still. That was his son. He shouldn't have, he's not a wrestler. He should have not ever, he did. And he just kept coming back and forth between Rey and Dominic, mostly Dominic. In which Rey Mysterio was able to come back because all he got was F5s and suplex. Dominic got the spinal, he got this, he got thrown, he got this, he got beaten the hell up to a point where they had to stretcher him out of the arena. And Rey Mysterio is just crying, apologizing to his son, saying it's all his fault. He had nothing to blame himself in. His son wanted to be there to support him, like anyone else would and has in the past and will do in the future. Just be there on the sidelines. This is not a first time, but the first time we've seen this with being Brock Lesnar is he's the one who decided to assault Rey Mysterio, which we've seen time and time again with Brock Lesnar assaulting anybody, but attacking someone's child, that's a whole new low and danger. That's unforgivable. And everybody's already saying that he's being charged for attacking a non-wrestler and a fan. He was he was near the fans. He just attacked everybody. He was not just attacking Rey and Dominic, he was attacking officials too. He's going to get charged for that.
Well, not with the officials. Balez has done that many times.
He needs to be charged then. What's good for them is good for him.
Officials don't usually count. Only wrestlers do.
And referees.
Well, not wrestlers. Not wrestlers, I say, but only people that like you said, the son of wrestlers.
Paul Heyman the whole time is shocked and appalled, and finally he says, "Stop, stop, stop!" And Brock didn't even listen then. He's still attacking him. And then later on, Paul Heyman would publicly apologize because he cannot believe that Brock Lesnar did this. But he figured this would happen. Why would he? He's blaming Vince. Vince knew that if he brought him, knowing that he was going to fight Kofi Kingston that Friday night, that he was already in fight mode. That he knew that this was going to happen, that he's blaming Vince for bringing Brock Lesnar to Monday Night Raw when he was supposed to be scheduled to fight Kofi in fight mode 4 days or 5 days ahead. He's just telling him that Brock is on the warpath. Hell, he even attacked one guy, I'm trying to remember, I don't remember his name. He attacked Finlay though, he kicked him upside the head. That's crazy, man. And also for the fact that this feels so real. The fact that he's still apologizing to his son Dominic. Rey Mysterio gets into the ambulance back in the truck with Dominic to a point that he ends up taking off his mask right there, we can't even see his face because of the glass, but he's still apologizing.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Damn.
Rey Mysterio does not want to see him with his life.
He's just crying.
But see, there's rumor going on. He might show up tonight on SmackDown. Rey Mysterio. He might call. They're saying that.
That sounds right because I'm sorry to say, Rey Mysterio is in every right to be vengeful and spiteful of what Brock Lesnar did. But if he comes at Brock Lesnar, don't be surprised, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to beg and plead wherever Brock Lesnar ends up. And it's going to be SmackDown. There's major talk. You said it. Major talk on the internet that it's confirmed that Brock Lesnar is going to be on SmackDown. Mostly because chances are he's going to take the Universal title, World title belt, WWE Championship, whatever, from Kofi Kingston tonight. And if he does, he's going to be guaranteed to be drafted on SmackDown for that reason.
He's already drafted on SmackDown.
There you go. In which case, don't be surprised, Rey Mysterio is going to beg and plead and demand to be on SmackDown just for the fact to get his hands on Brock Lesnar and...
No. What they're saying, what they're saying is that he might...
No, this is my thoughts. Okay. This is my thoughts of what's going to happen.
Because they're saying...
For the storyline.
Yeah, the rumor is saying that he's going to show up to SmackDown and cost Brock Lesnar the title match.
Ooh, that would be perfect for Kofi to win, but also for Rey Mysterio to really stick it into... I'm going to use my iPod as a knife. Stick it to Brock Lesnar for what he did to his son. That would win. Now, moving on to that, this is taking up 12 minutes of our time. Damn. Finish this up. We would have Sasha Banks going in and taking on one half of the women's tag team champions, Alexa Bliss, and successfully defeating her with the Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch, that she's going to fight in a Hell in a Cell. I'm about to say in a Hell in a Cell with Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. So after the match, it would be a fight, pretty much just a straight up fight, and Sasha Banks would run. Becky would state that there is no hiding and that she is going to just whoop her ass. And she's not going to make it personal. She's just going to make it hurt at Hell in a Cell. Later, we would have Sasha Banks taking offense to that, knowing that there's only been 2 Hell in a Cells for women in the women's locker room division. And she was in the first, so that she thinks that that Becky Lynch is going to beat her. Nah, she dreaming. She says that she's going to take her title and show why she is the woman leading the women's division, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. See, I don't honestly care about both of them. I think both of them they're not my favorites anyway. So.
Oh, they're both hard hitting. I'll give you that much. So next up, the tag team champions Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode take on Heavy Machinery, because it would be 3 title matches that night being defended. The first would be the Raw tag team titles. Sad to say, despite seeing, and quote unquote, it is his son who revolutionized that move into a WWE or wrestling move in general, we get to actually hear Jerry the King Lawler react to Otis Dozovich version of the Worm in the Caterpillar. He goes, what the hell? He never thought a big guy like him. He never thought a big guy like him could do that.
It wasn't Jay Lawler's son did that move, bro.
What?
It was Sky Tuhati.
Yeah, that's his son.
No, his son is Grandmaster Sexy, Brian Christopher.
Oh, I thought it was Scotty Tuhati. See, somebody gave me false information back in the day. What the hell? When he was going for his WrestleMania moment with Michael Cole.
You gotta remember.
I thought that was Scotty Tuhati.
You gotta remember, Brian Christopher is the one with the do-rag. the goggles. Sky to hide it is that one with the blonde hair. That's like
he had blonde hair. The guy who was chewing him out.
But he wasn't always blonde though. He just dyed it.
Well, Heavy Machinery would lose to Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, successfully defending a title and showcasing it wasn't a fluke. Their teamwork is pretty damn good, despite the fact that it was just on the spot. That's pretty good. Dolph Ziggler and Robert. Next, we would have an actual main event quality showcase of The Miz TV with 2 Hall of Famers, one being a 2-time Hall of Famer. We would have the immortal Hulk Hogan and the 16-time, but on the monitor it said 17-time WWE champion, world champion, should I say, Ric Flair. I didn't even notice that. I didn't know it said 17 time. He's a 16-time.
They messed it up.
That was the second mess up of the night for the first premiere of season 28 of Monday Night Raw.
Hulk Hogan is Hulk Hogan. If y'all want to know how many times he's
13?
12.
They said 13.
They messed up on that.
Miz said 13 times. With that said, it would be, these two would get everybody wound up. They're like, whoa, we're about to have a fight between old damn timers here. Woo, they're getting hot and bothered right now. They go, let's go. All of this would be psyched up for the match that would come at Crown Jewel after Hell in a Cell. Because we would have 2 old men who can't really wrestle because it's no longer in their heyday, but we can have a 5-on-5 10-man elimination match where Team Hulk Hogan versus Team Flair. And already we would meet the captains of Team Hogan would be Burn It Down, the Beast Slayer, Seth Rollins, Universal Champion, versus a very, very close friend from the old faction and arguably one of the most popular factions, Evolution, Randy Orton.
Not popular.
It was popular. It was very popular.
DX was very popular, bro.
We got Evolution, DX, NWO.
Well, NWO, DX are 2 popular ones. They said Evolution.
One of. I didn't say like top.
Yeah.
I said one of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't forget about the Heart Foundation.
Like I said, we're not listing that. This is not a top 10 here.
No, you said 3. I said.
I didn't say 3. I said one of the top favorites. I didn't say no 3. The 3. Go back in the video. I did not say 3. There was no number coming out of my mouth. I don't know where you got that.
Because you named all 3.
I said 3, but I said no. I didn't. I only said Evolution. You're the one bringing up Generation X, and I mentioned NWO while I was at it, because I know you were going to mention that next. I know you how you think. You love NWO.
Well, they're DX is number 1.
Yeah. Well, at this time, let's get back to the subject. You're just trying to sidetrack me. Take it up.
I'm evil.
Anyway, with Randy Orton and Seth Rollins taking shots at each other, saying that who's going to win, they're already suggesting a one-on-one captain's match. But it would not happen because, ironically, another figure would come out in the form of King Corbin. And we're all confused, like, why is he coming out? And all of a sudden, Randy Orton just jumps Seth Rollins, and King Corbin comes in and gets in on that. Out of nowhere, we would have Rusev's music come in, and Rusev comes to the rescue. And we have already just found out, just by showcasing the first picks of Team Flair and Team Hogan, the first 2 representatives, Seth Rollins and Rusev representing Hulk Hogan on stage, and Corbin and be right back. Okay, that call's done with. I got work. Yeah. But let's get back to this. We were talking about the teams of Hogan and Flair. We already know Rusev and Seth Rollins are on Team Hogan, and Randy Orton and King Corbin are on Team Flair. That is what we wanted to say.
But what do you think about new Rusev's and the Rusev?
He's just tan and greasy.
No, but did you not notice he lost a lot of weight?
That I did notice. And he got a bigger build on top. It's like he went from to like what the hell?
And his mustache looked
trimmed.
Yeah.
It looked like he got a goatee like me.
He got like a thicker mustache though.
Yeah, but after that, he would be interviewed to know how does he feel to know that he helped Seth Rollins and will be representing Team Hogan at Crown's Jewel. He said that would be and he was even asked of what the condition of Lana. What the hell is going on? And he was just quiet. But then he mentioned something and said that I like to keep what's going on with Lana and me quiet. But as far as tonight's concerned, I may be teaming up with him, but we are not friends. Case in point, tonight, he wanted to challenge and he issued it to Seth Rollins because he knew that with what happened with Rey Mysterio, he didn't want this, to sadden the fans with no title shot. He issued an open challenge to anybody who would want to step up. Well, one of his partners at Crown Jewels representing Team Hogan is going to be his opponent for tonight. Rusev challenged him and Seth Rollins accepted. Okay.
But you see, I knew something was going on between Lana and him before he said it.
Yeah, buddy. Yep. Hey, damn, look at that. MMD. Yeah, buddy. Okay. So with that said, we would then have another match. Thank you. They're really bringing in the storyline for these guys. Thank you. It's the good old New Japan Wrestling in modern day WWE between the War Machine and the Bullet Club. Just a new version of the Viking Raiders versus the OC. Yeah. Another match between them, and the Viking Raiders are still undefeated. And the OCs are just getting more aggressive, knowing that the fact that they are losing to the Viking Raiders. So they're getting, they're going to want to play dirty against these guys. And that's the kind of heels we want to see. A good storyline like that. Your take on that?
You do know the storylines like the relationship between wrestlers, bro. Mm-hmm. That's just a match. You call it, not a storyline.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the fact of the matter is, we would have in the back being commentated on how sad they are to hear that Rey Mysterio is having to take his Dominic on the atrocities done by Brock Lesnar, and then we would interrupt that not interview, more like mention it in the back. But then it would turn into an interview with Cesaro coming up and just bad-mouthing poor Rey Mysterio, saying that if Brock Lesnar didn't do it, he is actually happy to see that happen to Dominic and Rey Mysterio. He was sad that he didn't do that. On behalf of Rey Mysterio's honor, Ricochet would come up and say, if you got a beef with that, why don't you take it on with me and in the ring? Defending Rey Mysterio's honor and getting that win for Rey Mysterio, Cesaro would go on to defeat, Ricochet would go on to defeat Cesaro in a high stakes match. Well, high flying match. Next, we would have John Cena being mentioned, knowing that he is actually funding FitOps Pledge, which is helping those soldiers who have been medically problems to the point of committing suicides. And there have been multiple suicides. A lot of it going on in America are soldiers who come back from services and just mentally having scars, being abandoned by their families, all that, and just committing suicides. And they're this pledge, this FitOps pledge, hopes to bring this down to zero. So that anyone who donates $1 to this, John Cena would up that to $1 million. God damn, are you serious? How many dollars and how many? Wait, I'm confused. How many millions of dollars is John Cena going to give? That doesn't sound right in my head.
How do you think we got everything and we're enough?
How many millions of dollars did John Cena have?
A lot. I think we had repairs from a hurricane. You know how much
I gotta give it to John Cena, dude. That just showcases his character outside the ring. His true self. Not a character, his true self.
Yeah, that's one.
That's why John Cena is my third-time All-Fame wrestler, man. Just thank you.
Yeah, it's because all the soldiers come from Iraq, not services.
Anywhere.
Yeah,
anywhere.
Iraq, Pakistan.
Mm-hmm. Next, we have the second title defense of the night of Monday Night Raw premiere. We would have the United States title champion, AJ Styles, defending it against Cedric Alexander. Now, Cedric Alexander, after getting the win on Team Stone Cold a couple of weeks ago, but sadly to say, despite getting the drop on AJ Styles that night, and then getting a beer bash drinking on with Braun Strowman, Seth Rollins, the Viking Raiders with Stone Cold, Cedric Alexander would come up short in showcasing why AJ Styles is the United States champion. That goes to you, Chris Petrie. That's your favorite. Like him or not, he is phenomenal. Next up, we have Lacey Evans going up against Natalya for another round, but sadly to say, Natalya doesn't get the win this time. After showcasing that she has won her matches using the sharpshooters, a signature move done by the Heart
Foundation.
Thank you. Lacey Evans would actually trick Natalya by ringing her eyes and then getting the women's right into her face, ultimately getting the win.
But the ones that she's done her move is from her father and uncle.
Yep.
Uncle Owen.
Okay. You can look up NXT on October 2nd.
One of my favorite members of the Hart Foundation, Owen Hart.
We miss you, Owen Hart. I don't know him much. I didn't see much of his matches, or even one of his matches. I have not yet. Yeah. But the reputation and the love for Owen Hart's is worldwide.
He was a high flyer, and plus, he always tried to outshine his brother and brother-in-law.
Rightfully so. So, the last match of the night would be Rusev versus Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship. The match would be an interesting match to see Rusev make a comeback in the title picture of all things after a couple of matches here and there. But it would be interrupted by Randy Orton and King Corbin. They didn't enter the ring, but the match would go on. And then, oddly enough, a man who's been a hiatus because of an injury, same as Rusev, not the same injury, but still, you haven't seen him in a while, would be Bobby Lashley, of all things. Why is Bobby Lashley here? Is he a member of Team Flair? But to no avail, we wouldn't see him standing next to Randy Orton and King Corbin. We would just stand him pointing at the ring and everybody saying, getting ideas. I'm like, what? Be right back.
Sam, if you want to see Owen Hart matches, you will go and look on their network.
Nah, not that really. And in which case, we would see Lana and her music come out. And we're all, I'm like, what the hell? And then we would see it. They smooch. And then they smooch again. And then they smooch again. And just, Rusev is just standing there, just with his head down like, what the heck, man? You gonna let it, they're married. I'm confused. We gotta see this later on. We gotta find out.
Wrestlers do that, bro.
I know, but I'm like, is this a part of the storyline? A skit?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this really an issue that's in real life?
No, here's the thing how it goes. WWE writers and the Vince Man.
Oh man, that was just putting it too thick.
No.
That was some smooching.
No, he always tells his wrestlers to do that. Kiss each other.
I know he's got some making up to do if they're still married and they're still lovey-dovey. They'll be like, Lana, you gonna crush me tonight.
No, in Bruce's picture, he works behind Miss Man. Miss Man wants he says, "Damn it, I want y'all two to kiss each other. It helps build up ratings."
Well, anyway, that said, what comes next is a surprise because we all thought that with him being downs in the dumps already, seeing his wife just laying on that lip lock with Bobby Lashley, the music hits. I mean, the lights go out and we know the Fiend's coming. We're like, oh no, Rusev, run! You're down in the dumps already. You don't need this. He doesn't go after Rusev. He goes straight for Seth Rollins, and he's got the mandible claw latched on this poor Seth, and he's screaming. He is screaming. The Fiend is screaming. And all we hear is the laugh at the end as the lights go out. Signing off on Monday Night Raw until Hell in the Cell this Sunday. A shout out to our boys, the Heavy Monsters podcast members, Xavier Hill, Mike Henry, and Andre Mitchell. A link to their YouTube pages will be in the descriptions down below, as well as a shout out to Renee, who's on vacation, hopefully returning to attend Hell in a Cell at my place this Sunday, as well as Farrell, Chris Petrie, and Delvin. We then kick off October 2nd, 2-hour limited commercials aired on USA Channel for NXT. Starting off with the NXT Championship match between the contender, Matt Riddles, and Adam Cole. And that match goes on for over 20 minutes, man. Holy crap, that was a match.
Matt Riddle.
Which, Matt Riddle. What did I say?
Matt Riddles. What that is.
I do apologize. I didn't read Riddles. That sounds like a cereal. Wait, Matt Riddles, the magically delicious.
Are you trying like a Riddler?
That too. In which case, the match was top grade, 10 out of 10 match. They were just beating the living hell out of each other until finally, out from the back of the head, knee shot, it would be Adam Cole defending his title and successfully representing the Undisputed Era. But his celebration would be interrupted by unfamiliar. Well, actually, who am I kidding? He is beloved, and he had been the longest reigning NXT champion in history, making an appearance on NXT and making an announcement where the fans were saying, welcome back, welcome back. They don't know how right they were. Finn Balor announces that he says, from now on, Finn Balor is NXT. Leaving Raw and SmackDown behind and coming back full time to NXT. Damn, he's already drafted. We're going to have NXT drafts too? Ooh, this is going to be good.
Well, here's the thing. They want to bring back, put wrestlers from Raw and SmackDown back to NXT because, like, they feels like they want to make their show better because NXT has been good.
You're getting fuzzy. There you go. Okay, next up we would have Velveteen Dream addressing Roderick Strong and his rematch. That's the difference between SmackDown and Raw because of the fact that they can actually have their rematches. I'm going to skip that. It was mostly just talk. Next, we would have Io Shirai versus Mia Yim, in which case Mia Yim had the hype going into this match, but she didn't get the win. Io Shirai surprisingly gets the drop on her as the Queen of the Skies. We'll be right back. Okay, gotta hurry this up. His ride's here.
What's you on your phone?
I don't, no data. Okay, we got Johnny Gargano defeating Shane Thorne, upstart, proving that he is no joke and he's making a comeback. We also have the NXT Women's title match between Shayna Baszler and Candice LeRae, and Shayna Baszler defends it, rightfully so. That's sad to say. She made her tap out. We then have Pete Dunne going against Danny Burch, representing NXT UK. Danny Burch loses that match with the defeat or something else. I forget his finisher, but he didn't get. He got the pinfall. But out of nowhere, we would have Damian Priest jump behind on Pete Dunne. We're like, what the hell? In the final match of the night, and it was 10-10 as well, we have this rematch between the Street Profits against the Undisputed Era. At the end, the match was so good, but with the interference of Roderick Strong coming out of nowhere and interfering in the match, they would get the skinny guy getting dropped. And the Undisputed Era retains both titles, one fairly, the other at the end of the night unfairly. And the Undisputed Era are just hyped. And wrongfully so, man. That's just wrong. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, he's got to go. I got to go. This is the end of the show. Last thoughts, real quick.
Good.
All right. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You didn't, give it a thumbs down. Hit that subscribe button, like the content, and hit that notification bell right there for the next Heaven's Monsters podcast this Sunday. We're going to cover SmackDown. I doubt 205. We just got info that it's going to be a rerun. Wow, Women's of Wrestling, as well as something I need to watch, AEW, All Elite Wrestling. And maybe we can cover All Out pay-per-view night of All Elite Wrestling as well. Maybe. We'll see. Wait, what was that? What was that? Okay. Peace out, y'all.
Bye.